Dobrý deň, dámy a páni. Som veľmi rád, že dnes mám možnosť privítať opäť v Bratislave mojich kolegov z Vyšehradskej štvorky a našim dnešným hosťom je náš kolega minister zahraničných vecí Turecka, Mevlut Čavuşoğlu. Turecko je pre nás dôležitým partnerom, je to náš spojenec v Severoatlantickej aliancii, je to kandidátska krajina na členstvo v Európskej únii, krajina, ktorá zohráva veľmi dôležitú úlohu v regióne, ktorý je dôležitý pre bezpečnosť v strednej Európe aj vôbec v Európe. Treba si uvedomiť aj to, že Turecko je krajina, ktorá na svojom území prichýlila najväčší počet utečencov a migrantov na celom svete. 4,5 milióna ľudí, z ktorých 3,6 milióna prišlo zo Sýrie. Turecko sa o nich stará príkladne, vrátane toho, že im zabezpečuje zdravotnú starostlivosť, vzdelanie a všetky potrebné služby a to je niečo, za čo sme Turecku vďační. Vrátane toho, že vďaka dohode, ktorú Európska únia uzavrela s Tureckom v roku 2016, sa Turecko stalo hrádzou pred nekontrolovaným prílivom migrantov do Európy. Formát V4+Turecko sa dnes stretáva už po 4. krát, čo je potvrdením toho, že je to formát, ktorý je veľmi užitočný. A aj dnes sme sa venovali predovšetkým otázkam širšieho regiónu Blízkeho východu. Veľmi detailne sme diskutovali o situácii v Sýrii, v Iráne, v Iraku, v Líbii, o najnovšom vývoji medzi Izraelom a Palestínou a takisto sme sa venovali otázkam terorizmu, boja proti terorizmu a migrácie. Naše rokovanie bude pokračovať pracovným obedom, ktorý bude primárne venovaný vzťahom medzi Európskou úniou a Tureckom. Dobre viete, že to nie je vzťah jednoduchý. Sú krajiny v rámci Európskej únie, ktoré volajú po zastavení prístupových rokovaní s Tureckom. To nie je názor Slovenskej republiky. My hovoríme, že pokiaľ krajina má úprimný záujem o členstvo v Európskej únii a pokiaľ je pripravená splniť všetky podmienky, ktoré z toho vyplývajú, mala by dostať šancu. A tá šanca sa môže prejaviť len v prístupových rokovaniach. Samozrejme, neexistujú žiadne skrátky alebo zľavy. Podmienky je nutné plniť tak, ako sme ich splnili aj my. Následne budem mať s mojím tureckým kolegom aj bilaterálne rokovanie. Turecko je pre nás veľmi dôležitým partnerom. Som rád, že máme vynikajúce bilaterálne vzťahy, nemáme žiadne otvorené otázky. Budeme hovoriť o tom, ako naše vzťahy ďalej prehlbiť a rozšíriť a rovnako tak časť našho rokovania budeme venovať aktuálnym otázkam týkajúcim sa OBSE, kde Turecko hrá takisto významnú úlohu. Pripomeniem len to, že šéfom špeciálnej monitorovacej misie na Ukrajine je turecký diplomat veľvyslanec Apakan a jeho nástupcom od 1. júna bude opäť turecký diplomat veľvyslanec Čelik. Takže vidíte, že tej agendy je veľa, ale nechcem si ukradnúť všetok čas, takže ďakujem pekne za pozornosť a odovzdám slovo mojim kolegom.
Ďakujem, pán minister. Now follows Minister of Foreign Affairs of Turkey, Mevlut Čavuşoğlu. Please, Minister.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank Foreign Minister Lajčák, my dear friend Miroslav, for organizing this Visegrad 4+Turkey meeting. And I would like to thank my colleagues also for the very fruitful meetings that we had. And as Miroslav mentioned, we discussed many issues that are actually of our interest and concern, and the regional issues, and the situation in Syria, Libya, Iran, and Iraq. And I updated my colleagues what we have been doing in Syria particularly. There are many aspects of this problem, and the coordination of the withdrawal of the United States, and the situation in Idlib and status of Idlib, and the political process and the establishment of the Constitutional Committee and the voluntarily return of the refugees and how we can support them. And we also discuss other issues like irregular migration. This is the challenge that we need to deal all together. And this is the challenge that our societies have been facing. But we should also look at the issue from the humanitarian perspective and as well as the security perspective. Therefore, this is the issue, not only issue of the Europe, but this is a global challenge. We need to continue working together. And the deal, a migration deal between Turkey and European Union has been effective. Of course, there are a lot to do together, and we are working on it. Countering terrorism without any discrimination is also very essential, and this is one of the issues that we have been discussing today, and we will continue discussing it at the lunch. We will also discuss Turkey-EU relations at the lunch. Let me here thank all of our colleagues and friendly countries of V4 for their support to Turkey's EU membership. I very much agree with Miroslav that we actually are ready to negotiate any chapter. So Turkey is ready to meet any conditions and the standards, and after the elections now, the reform is priority for us in Turkey. But we should avoid political obstacles. This is the main problem in front of us. And at this occasion, let me thank and congratulate Slovakia and Miroslav Lajčák for the successful chairmanship of V4, and also very, very successful and active chairmanship of OSCE, and also for appointing another Turkish diplomat to the special monitoring mission in Ukraine, which has been one of the most effective mechanisms of the OSCE. And we will continue supporting your priorities and activities. Thank you very much.
Thank you, minister. Slovo má minister zahraničných vecí České republiky, pan Tomáš Petříček.
Dobrý den, já bych rád začal tím, že bych chtěl poděkovat slovenskému předsednictví za uspořádání tohoto tradičního formátu a také Mevlutovi a jeho spolupracovníkům za velmi podnětnou diskuzi. Kromě témat, o kterých jsme již hovořilo, ať už je to Sýrie, kde i Česká republika sdílí zájem na stabilizaci situace, na rychlém nalezení politického řešení konfliktu a vytvoření podmínek pro návrat uprchlíků do jejich domovů, ať už je to také Irán, kde s Tureckem naše státy sdílí zájem na tom, aby pokračovala naše dohoda, aby byl s Iránem veden dialog, včetně citlivých otázek, jako je iránský balistický program nebo rola Iránu v širším regionu. Já jsem především ale rád, že naše země s Tureckem mají zájem spolupracovat i v dalších oblastech, ať už je to na rozvoji našich ekonomických vztahů, v oblasti energetiky či v oblasti kultury. V tomto směru budeme všichni rádi, pokud se nám všem podaří využít právě spolupráce mezi Tureckem a Visegrádskou čtyřkou, abychom se v těchto oblastech také posouvali. Děkuji.
Poland is represented today by Deputy Foreign Minister Marcin Przydač, please.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Mr. Minister, for organizing such a great and important event. I mean, the V4+ formula is very effective, as we see. There has been several meetings in that formula, and it shows that we, as a V4 countries, are ready to discuss different issues, different questions regarding not only the security issues, but also the trade cooperation and many others. And thank you very much, Mr. Minister, for coming, because your opinion is crucial. I mean, we cannot discuss the situation in the Middle East, also in the Black Sea area, without Turkey. I mean, that is for us very important. We've discussed Syria, what is happening right now there. We know the humanitarian situation in Idlib, and then the northeastern part of Syria is difficult, and we are trying, of course, to be also quite active in helping in that situation. We discussed also the situation in Gulf area, Libya, and thank you for sharing your opinion on this situation in Libya, which is very unstable, unfortunately. Still, I'm personally very happy that we also discussed the migration pressure, and we are, as V4 countries, we're always standing on a position that we have to discuss about the causes of migration, not only accommodating the next wave of migrants to Europe, but trying to combat, to find also the causes of the whole problem. I'm also pretty happy that we'll have the chance to discuss the future EU-Turkey relations. Poland is, of course, very interested in strengthening the trade and the political relations with Turkey. So looking forward for the business lunch and continuing the dialogue. Thank you.
Thank you, and I would like to pass the floor to the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade of Hungary, Szijjártó Péter.
Thank you very much, Miro. Thank you very much for hosting us here today. We cherish our cooperation with Turkey on two fields, on fight against terror and on stopping the migratory flows towards the European Union, especially putting into consideration that terrorism is on the rise again. Look at what happened in Sri Lanka, and look at the video message which was released yesterday by a leader of ISIS who was supposed to be dead for the last couple of years. So in this regard, the cooperation with Turkey on fighting against terrorism is extremely important. And as we can count on Turkey, we cannot count neither on the European Union nor on the United Nations, unfortunately. Both European Union and United Nations promote migration. And unfortunately, United Nations is now encouraging terrorism as well. I would like to inform you that yesterday we have been notified by United Nations that there is a procedure is launched against Hungary by UN on the basis of a court decision with which we have sentenced a terrorist to prison, a terrorist who has launched an attack against the Hungarian border back in 2015 when the border was sealed off. And that terrorist launched an attack against the border and against the policemen protecting the border, throwing stones on them, injuring more than 10 out of them. And now the United Nations launched a procedure against Hungary on that. We think it's a shame and it's shocking that United Nations stands on the side of a terrorist referring to as Mr. Hamed, instead of standing on the side of the people who would like to live in peace and security in their own homeland. And unfortunately, we have to see that terrorism and migration are consequences of each other. When terrorism is on the rise, then more and more people have to escape from their homes. And when the migratory flows are becoming stronger and stronger, then it gives more and more opportunity for terrorists to be spread around. And putting into consideration the number of foreign terrorist fighters who used to fight in the framework of ISIS, and putting into consideration their intention to come back to Europe, we have to continue to count on that as a huge security risk. That's why, once again, we respect and cherish Turkey's efforts in this regard to stop the migratory flows and to fight against terror. And Turkey can count on our support in the future as well to make the EU-Turkey deal completed to 100% on the EU side as well.
Thank you, ďakujem. Nech sa páči vaše otázky za každú krajinu jedna, takže Slováci prvý, nech sa páči.
Dobrý deň, Maroš Kušnier z televízie Teatry. Ja by som sa chcel opýtať pánov ministrov, či sa riešil na rokovaní aj turecký nákup ruských protiraketových systémov S-400, keďže, ako vieme, ide o druhú najväčšiu krajinu Severoatlantickej aliancie, teda druhú najväčšiu armádu.
Táto otázka nebola na programe rokovania, ale pochopiteľne, pokiaľ by pán minister chcel využiť príležitosť a vyjadriť sa k tomu, tak teraz tú príležitosť má.
Well, yes, we didn't discuss this issue. This is not the platform, I believe, that to discuss this issue. but we have been discussing this issue with our colleagues bilaterally and other platforms, like during the NATO ministerial as well. First of all, one should understand that Turkey needs an air defense system urgently. And Turkey has been trying to purchase those systems from its allies, including United States, for last 10 years. Not last 2 or 3 years, 10 years. But we couldn't purchase them from other countries. And some NATO allies deployed their batteries along our borders. But recently, in the last 2 years, many of our allies withdrew their system, like Germany, United States, and the Netherlands. Now we have one Spanish Patriot and one Italian SAMP-T at our borders, southern part of Turkey, which are not enough. Therefore, we had to buy from Russia. Russia made the best proposal and one of the best system, I believe. And NATO Secretary General and his Deputy Secretary General made very clear that any ally can buy his defense system from any country. This is for sure. And from the beginning, we have been very sensitive, actually, that this system, any system that Turkey buys, shouldn't see NATO and NATO systems as enemy. And it will be fully under our control. And we propose NATO and the United States to establish a joint committee of experts to examine this. And we are still waiting their response. Therefore, it is an urgent need of Turkey, and Turkey will buy more systems like that. And if we can buy from our American allies or from France or from Italy, I mean the SAMP-T, we will, of course, do that. But in the case that we cannot, we have to buy somewhere else.
Anadolu Agency from Turkey, please.
I just want to ask one question, Mr. Çavuşoğlu. As you know, European Parliament election will be held at the end of May. We see that extreme rights on the rise all over Europe. How do you evaluate this trend and its possible reflection in the EU Parliament election, especially if you look at the elections banners or some political speeches? It's almost against migrant and also the Muslim population. Can I ask your opinion, please?
Well, those far-right ideologies or political parties subscribing such ideologies are against everything. And they are Islamophobic, they are racist, they are xenophobic, they have anti-immigrant sentiment, but they are also against the core European values, and they are against European Union itself. Therefore, it is not only the concern of Turkey or the others, it is also concern of all the EU member states or European countries. And because they have been hitting the core values and the democratic institutions of Europe that are uniting us. And they have been undermining European institutions and the European Parliament, European Union itself, and the Council of Europe and the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe. Unfortunately, this is our concern that they might actually gain more seats at those parliaments or parliamentary assemblies in addition to national parliaments. So this is not only the concern of us, it's a concern of entire Europe. Thank you.
Priestor majú českí kolegovia. Nech sa páči.
Petr Obrovský, Česká televize, dobrý den. Já bych se chtěl zeptat na možný vstup Turecka do Evropské unie. Pan ministr Lajčák už ho v podstatě podpořil, pokud Turecko splní všechny podmínky. Zajímal by mě názor i dalších ministrů Visegrádské čtyřky, jak se na to dívají jejich země, a rád bych se zeptal i pana tureckého ministra zahraničí, v jaké fázi z vaší strany ty přístupové rozhovory aktuálně jsou a případně zda máte nějaký termín už teď, kdybyste je chtěli dokončit nebo se v nich nějak posunout. Děkuji.
Česká republika dlouhodobě podporuje rozšiřování. Je to jedna z nejúspěšnějších politik Evropské unie. A i v případě Turecka platí, že chceme pokračovat ve vyjednávání, chceme pokračovat v přístupových rozhovorech, ale ten proces má dvě strany. Přístupový proces je založen na plnění podmínek, například kodaňských kritérií, kde je jasné, že protistrana musí plnit například podmínky v oblasti ochrany lidských práv, demokracie a podobně. Takže je nutné, aby obě strany jednaly o tom, jak lze tyto podmínky naplnit.
Mr. Minister, please.
I think we should not be hypocritical in this regard. And we have to speak honest to each other. Whenever Turkey is on the agenda on the Foreign Affairs Council meeting, there are countries, not small ones, speaking against their membership. I don't really understand why they speak honestly about that in front of the public. And I think that playing such kind of games with Turkey is not fair. This is a signal of disrespect towards Turkey. And to the contrary, I think that European Union should show respect towards Turkey, because what we have just discussed recently, our security starts with Turkey because of the migration and terrorism issue. And if some not small countries of European Union do not want Turkey to be a member state of the European Union, then we have to speak about then how to go forward. And I'm pretty convinced that it is the interest of European Union to build a strategic partnership with Turkey for sure, because Turkey is going to be one of the top 10 economies of the world very soon. Turkey has the second largest army of NATO. So I think instead of showing disrespect and playing games, we should be able to build a relationship with Turkey which is based on the strategic partnership and based on the mutual interest and the mutual benefits, by the way.
Thank you. Poland?
Okay, I'll try to be short. I mean, we have Brexit, as we all know, which makes the European Union. I mean, puts the European Union in a quite difficult position, and we have to show as a EU that we are a vivid structure, and that there are also options. I mean, to join the EU, not only to leave, and it deals with the Western Balkans, with the Eastern Partnership countries, with Turkey, all those European countries who are ready to join EU and which meets the European standards, and they are mostly welcome to join the Union, and that would be just the simple answer.
Well, we have been trying to be member of the European Union for the last 60 years, not 16 years, 60 years. And we have been negotiating since 2005. And we have been able to open only 16 chapters. And today, many countries still, many member states are supporting Turkey's full membership, because they recognize the importance of Turkey for Europe and European Union, also as well as the contribution of Turkey in many areas, including security, economy, and in the areas that we have been working together. I mean, the challenges like migration and etc. And Turkey has never hesitated to meet the standards. And if Turkey meets the opening benchmarks, chapters should be open. If not, they shouldn't be open. If Turkey meets the closing benchmarks of each chapter, and chapters can be closed. If not, no chapter will be closed. Fair enough. But what we see is the political, actually, obstacles. And as Peter mentioned, some of the countries are categorically against Turkey membership. Why? According to them, some of them, Turkey is a big country and 82 million population. Turkey will have more seats at the European Parliament than any other country. According to some of them, Turkey is predominantly Muslim country. So if European Union is a religious club, that's fine. If European Union doesn't want to share anything, including power, with any other country or member state, that's also fine. We understand the balance between France and Germany since, the beginning of this organization, but they ignore what Turkey can contribute to this organization. And membership is a still strategic goal for us. And if European Union doesn't want to have us, they have to give the decision. But it's not only about the reform, or it's not only about the benchmarks or criteria that Turkey can meet or Turkey has not met or Turkey has met. Even in 2006, when we had the best relations, and the reforms of the Turkey was defined as the silence revolution here, many chapters were blocked by some member states, including France, and also by the Commission. So this is the problem. Thank you.
Ja len rýchlo doplním, že neexistuje voľná vstupenka na členstvo v Európskej únii. Je to bolestivý proces. My všetci sme si cez tento proces prešli, ale práve tento proces prístupových rokovaní ukáže, či je krajina schopná splniť všetky podmienky na to, aby sa stala členskou krajinou Európskej únie. A to je to, po čo my voláme na Slovensku, pretože momentálne prístupový proces Turecka je blokovaný z politických dôvodov a tým pádom sme v nejakej patovej situácii. My sme za to, aby sa proces odblokoval a aby naozaj Turecko dokázalo, že to myslí vážne a že je pripravené a ochotné splniť všetky podmienky, ktoré vyplývajú z prístupového procesu. A my na strane Európskej únie by sme mali dodržať naše vlastné pravidlá hry, ktoré hovoria, pokiaľ krajina chce a vie, tak by mala dostať šancu.
We are under the time pressure, so I would like to ask you for two last very brief questions. Poles? Anyone? Hungarians? Sorry.
Danian Čeriková, Reuters, Slovakia. I would like to ask Mr. Čavuşoglu, is there any update on the man suspected of spying for the United Arab Emirates who killed himself in a Turkish prison yesterday? The news was announced yesterday. Does Turkey see the fact that United Arab Emirates court upheld a life sentence against a Turkish citizen last night as a retaliation for its arrest of the two men? Thank you.
Well, this is a judicial matter. I also was informed that this man killed himself at the prison, so there is an ongoing investigation on that as well. So I don't want to make any comment on the judicial process, and these two gentlemen were actually imprisoned due to the espionage in Turkey and other illegal intelligence activities. That is what I know. I also don't know why this Turkish citizen was sentenced, and he had a life sentence in that particular country. So I will get more detailed information from my embassy and consulate there. But our citizens shouldn't be part of this kind of revenge manner. Turkey is actually a country that rule of law is so important and always prevails. So, any decisions or court rulings are actually giving according to the constitution and the legislations in Turkey. Thank you.